What's up, ladies? I want to tell you this inspirational story. I'd like to share it with you girls, and in hopes that it gives you hope to keep going out there, keep pushing yourself, never give up on yourself, never give up on your dreams. Keep that hope going, because that hope is going to turn into a goal, which is going to lead you to an end result, and that end result is going to change your life. So let's go. Anyway, you girls, here I am. It's been 4 years. I completed my degree. It was hell on earth, picking up children, dropping children off, in-laws in the house, a sister-in-law that was the devil herself would come to my house, make noise with her friends, laugh, won't let me sleep, wouldn't want me to study. Man, did that woman hate her life. She was so envious of me. It's crazy. His entire family loved me, but that devil, long story short, you girls, here we are. It's time for me to take one out of the 2 board exams that I had. It was the hardest test I've ever taken. I knew it was going to be a very hard test. I spoke to people that took that test before me. Long story short, I take all my textbooks, and I put them in my living room table. Sissy decides that night that she's going to sleep over. And I was like, well, this is weird. She slept over once in a blue moon. Long story short, I go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, Sissy is gone and my textbooks are gone too. So I go upstairs. I'm shaking. That's how upset I am. I'm crying like a 5-year-old. And I go and I wake up the ghost that I was living with, and I said, hey there, ghost, your sister took my textbooks. And he was like, don't accuse my sister. He goes, I'll call her right now. It's crazy, because he watched her for 12 years torture me, and it was insane to him that she would do such a thing like that. But they're 2 peas in a pod, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That family was a shit show. Long story short, he calls up his sister, he puts her on speaker, and he goes, did you take my wife's books? And she was like, oh my god, never. And he was like, you see, she would never do such a thing. Man, that guy was brainwashed. Screw that. Long story short, I said, okay, no problem. I looked at him, I smiled, I said, there's no way that these people are going to defeat me. I've come too far. And so I picked up my children. I packed up 2 bags. I'll never forget it. I jumped in my car. I drove to my parents. I told my parents the situation. I said, watch these kids. I got on a bus and I took the bus to New York City. I went to one of the biggest Barnes and Nobles. I knew that they had a lot of that information there. It wasn't the same textbooks. I was crying like a child. I was sobbing going there and coming back. How could they do this to me? What did I ever do to them? Long story short, you girls sat there. I got an audio. I put that audio in my ear. I listened to it 24 hours, 7 days a week. I even slept with it. I'm not even kidding you girls. I woke up. I took whatever, scraps that they left me with to study. I went in. It was time to take my exam. I said, please God, do not fail me. Do not forget me. Please get me through this. Pull me through. I sat there. I took the test. I said, there's no way I passed this. I took the paper, printed it out. I folded it. I put it in my pocket. I took the bus back home to my parents' house where my children were, and I wanted my kids to open it up, and it didn't matter if it said failed.